you ready to branch out, to take a leap of faith, to love yourself and others fully? Then let go of whatever no longer serves you to take action now on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. With Erica's E3 approach, equipping, empowering, and enlightening yourself so you can be yourself for yourself. Get ready and get rooted to live a life without regrets, without what ifs, without should haves, and especially without empty feelings from a life unexplored. This hit show helps you build powerful and intentional roots to live it up, love it up, and let it go. Get fearlessly ready and powerfully rooted in your yes with your host, Erica Gifford Mills, and be fearless about your more and stand in your yes. Now on Get Rooted Radio.
Welcome, everyone. I am Erica Gifford Mills, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go, right here on Transformation Talk Radio. A big shout out, as always, to my producer today, Nat. Thank you so much for being here.
As always, I'm excited for another show. Let's do this.
All right. So today's episode is titled, Let Pain Be a Portal to Angel Love. My guest, Jill Kempner, and I will explore pain, grief, and healing. And as she says, your pain is not a punishment. It's a portal to receiving love and healing from your angels. And it is normal to want to be numb, kill, or get rid of pain. And I've been there. I know that. Emotional, physical, and mental pain. The shift is to see your pain through the eyes of your angels, to discover the deep meaning of the pain and release it once and for all. So let me tell you a bit about my guest. Jill served as a massage therapist and yoga teacher for 20 years before evolving as an angel coach. And as an angel coach, she helps her coaching clients heal physical pain by receiving angel love through relaxation and energy work. Jill's angel coaching programs are based on her debut book, Receiving from Your Angels, 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain with Angel Love. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Jill.
Thank you so much, Erica. This is a pleasure and an honor. I'm so grateful for the invitation and to chat about the angels.
And I love that. So before we jump into the first segment, which is on Relief is in the Reveal, tell listeners, what exactly is an angel coach? When I say an angel coach, what does that mean?
Absolutely. And I also want to do like a little history as well, but we'll start with what is an angel coach, right? So what I do as an angel coach, and you named a little bit of it, right, is I help my clients who are experiencing, physical pain or emotional pain to receive deep relief, deep healing, deep transformation through their divine connection, through their connection to their angels, to the divine. And we do this through a very specific process that I outlined in my book, the Relax, Release, Receive process. And that's a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. And it's, again, it's a pleasure and an honor. This is, you had said something in your, opener in your email about talk about what lights up your soul, right? What sets your soul on fire. And I was like, okay, talking about the angels, talking about pain relief, talking about healing. That's what I'm so passionate about.
And I love that because when we talk about what we love or what we feel deeply about, it comes through. And I can tell already, like, you love this. Yes. So for listeners, like, who are our angels?
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you asked that. And when I was praying about, what to share and how to share it, before I talk about that, right? Before I talk about who are our angels, I need to talk about who I am, right? And how I really got connected to the angels. And so, and I get asked this question a lot, right? Like, how did you get into this? And really, I often sum it up in one word, and I say trauma. And, recently in the past, several weeks, really this whole year, I've been doing a lot of review of my journey, being in my fourth decade. And, my childhood was really riddled with a lot of chaos. And I think a lot of, I'm here to serve earth angels. And I think, these beautiful, highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls. And many of us have experienced a challenging launching pad, a challenging upbringing. And so, we went through so much as a family there. The challenge was a lack of financial support, emotional support, familial support. And, when I was, so I'm just listening to the angels. So yeah, okay. And then, so it was there was a lot of stress. There was a lot of lack of support, and there was trauma. And then when I was 11 years old, my father died tragically. And it left my mom a single mom. And, it was me, my mom, and my brother. And, my teens, there were a lot of fun times in my teens, but I did carry, this mountain of hurt in my heart from losing my dad. And I lost my dad. So that was one part of it, right? But it was how he also passed away. That was also very, it was so much to process. And I really didn't process it, right? I wasn't ready to process it. So I carried this mountain of grief in my heart, grief, hurt, anger. And that led me on the path of healing. That led me, having a parent at such a young age on the other side led me to have, so much curiosity about the spirit world, because I was like, where did he go? Where is my dad? And that led me on the path of healing. So I became a massage therapist right out of high school. And my 20s, when you're thinking about the different challenges that we've been through, the different storms that we've been through, in my 20s, there was a lot of storm energy. I bought a house, got married. My father-in-law passed away, and I had my first child in 2 years. And after the birth of my daughter, that was a tough first year for me for so many reasons. And I think that's really right. That's really when my soul said, okay, now it's time to work on the parent wound. So I ended up in the psych hospital. And that was my dark night of the soul, the time after the psych hospital. And that was my opening, right, to better self-care, to my Reiki. It opened me up to the healing gifts that I needed to process everything that I had been through. And in my 30s, there was just a lot of processing of PTSD, and I felt it in my body. I had, and then, I tore my knee, I tore my shoulder, which led to the evolving my massage career into the angel coaching and energy work that I do now. And, now we land into the 40s, into this decade that I'm in. I mean, and I'm skipping over a lot of initiations, right? Just to give you just an overview of my journey and what led me to the angels. Well, let me slow it down. Okay, so here's what the angels are saying. They want me to share. It was that dark night of the soul that opened me up to really wanting to understand the higher purpose and the deeper meaning of my pain and why I had been through so many hard things, so many challenging things, so many traumatic things. And yeah, that feels really important. And I've been through some more recent storms and initiations. I know you and I talked, I think back in January, since then I've lost my mom, I've lost my brother. So I definitely know grief. I definitely know loss. I definitely know PTSD and trauma. And that's really what I'm passionate about, helping my clients to heal. Thank you. And so when we talk about the angels, the main thing, the first thing I want to say about the angels, right? Because I know I want to answer your question, who are the angels? when I talk about the angels, there's no religion, there's no dogma, there's no doctrine, right? They're non-denominational, right? They're really these amazing beings of love and light, right? They love you unconditionally. One of the ways I love to talk about the angels that always resonated with me that my teacher says is that the angels are the heartbeats of God. So every time God's heart beats, an angel is created. And I just love that. So it's such a gift.
It is. It definitely is. And I like how you say it's non-denominational. So this isn't, any forced religion, right? But how do your angels help you heal pain?
I just love that question. And really, the main way that your angels help you heal the pain is when you ask for their help. So it's all about asking, all about inviting, because we have free will. And that free will allows us to choose our path of healing, allows us to choose how we're going to access that answer to pain relief.
I think it's in the segment's title, right? The relief is in the reveal. So are you saying relief is there when we are seeking it, when we are asking for help, when we are trying to move forward?
Yeah. I mean, I love that. And yes, Erica, the relief is in the reveal means that when you reveal, when you connect with the deeper meaning of that pain, you will receive the relief from that pain, right? So it's seeking, and then we're going to be talking about this for what pain is and all of that in further segments. But really what I help my clients do is three things. I help my clients communicate with their own angels, right? Which develops their intuition, which is that direct line to the divine. I help my clients devote, make this commitment to their healing and to receiving the love of the divine for that pain relief. And I really, I create a customized daily practice for them of relaxing, releasing, and receiving so they can get that relief that they're looking for. I really help them to relax, get the deeper meaning of that pain through, using the energy work, right? Angel Reiki, IET, crystal healing, and then the practices in my book.
And I love that. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about how relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief. But before we go, Jill, tell folks how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. All my information is on my website, jillkempnerhealing.com. I'm also on Facebook, IG, and YouTube under Angel Jill 444.
Thank you so much. You're listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any portion of today's episode, you can catch it on getrootedradio.com. That's getrootedradio.com. Don't forget to subscribe online to receive the latest news, events, specials, and words of encouragement. Go to getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Jill Kempner. Jill, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
So during the last segment, we discussed relief being in the reveal. And during this segment, we're going to explore how relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief. So I've got a question, but I understand you have a story that you want to kick it off with. So my question is, I understand that there's various levels of relaxation that you talk about in your book. So what I want to know, and if you could share with listeners, is how many are there? And can you give us an example, an explanation, and an example of each?
Absolutely, 100%. Well, this is my medicine, right? This is what I did for 20 years, right? It was helping people to relax through my massage practice, through my yoga teaching. And so I really spent most of my life helping people relax. And during my 20-year massage career, my focus with the continuing education was energy medicine. I was like magnetized to wanting to understand the energy body, wanting to understand, the deeper meaning of why people were having pain. And I felt like the energy body was such a portal into understanding the deeper meaning of people's pain. And so when I retired from massage in 2018, I focused my energy healing and energy medicine gifts into and I created these beautiful angel coaching programs based on my debut book, Receiving from Your Angels: 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain with Angel Love. And what taught me that relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief, I mean, that was the download I received. But when I received that was after I tore my knee. So in 2015, I tore my knee and I needed ACL surgery. And this was a huge, I had actually never had surgery before. I had never really been injured before. It was the first major injury I had ever had. And it brought up so many layers of fear and worry. How was I going to, work as a massage therapist and a yoga teacher with this major injury? And during the time after the surgery, there was, 4 to 6 weeks of a lot of having to lay around. And in that time I was laying around and I was sort of forced to slow down. And in that slowing down, I realized how much more I was hearing and seeing and feeling my angels. And, they taught me, the angels taught me, my angels taught me that relaxation was the gateway to angelic pain relief. That when I relaxed physically and emotionally, mentally and spiritually, that I was able to feel their love, to receive the healing, to receive the messages, the medicine, the modality, the healing. And so in my 20 years as a massage therapist and giving these relaxing massages, because that was sort of my focus, was relaxation. When I could get my clients to calm their mind, to quiet their emotions, that's when they would have the most physical relief, this long lasting relief. And I was like, wow, that was really cool. As opposed to somebody who was maybe more, chatting and more active on the table. If I could really get them to fully relax, they'd text me 2 weeks later and say, or it was not text back then, but email me and say, oh my gosh, I'm still pain-free. What did you do?
Right.
So when we talk about relaxation, we have to talk about what it's not, right? Relaxation is not sleep. It's not escape. It's not zoning out. Relaxation is an arrival to the here and now. And why that's so important is this is where your angels are, right here, right now, sending you love. And so when I sat down to write my book during the pandemic, the angels gifted me with the 4 levels of relaxation: physical relaxation, emotional relaxation, mental relaxation, and my favorite, spiritual relaxation. And you think about it like the layers of the energy body, right? The layers of our aura: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And so physical relaxation is exactly what it sounds like. Oh, relaxing your muscles from your bones. Releasing tension. But it's also about grounding into the moment, grounding into the earth through your energetic roots. Emotional relaxation, which is such a gift to so many earth angels, right? Highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls who feel so much, right? Empaths. Emotional relaxation is room for all of you, all of your feelings, all of your emotions, all of your parts. Mental relaxation, mental relaxation is about calming the monkey mind. But it's not the discernment that I make when I'm talking about this and teaching it. It's not about no thought, because that's impossible, right? Our mind is designed to think. We have, the research says, between 6,000 and 60,000 thoughts a day. Whatever it is, it's a lot. It's more about mental relaxation is about finding that space between your thoughts, right? And that's where the miracles, the intuition, your creativity, the divine solutions reside. And then finally, spiritual relaxation. In one word, spiritual relaxation is surrender. And that goes with the letting go.
Yes.
Space for grace, trusting divine order, being willing to release that pain into the arms of your angels so you can get that relief, so you can get that reveal. Yeah.
That's a lot, because that's trusting something you can't see, trusting, letting go, but also giving up control. For those who might be a little bit of a control freak, I mean, I may or may not be admitting that, my hand is probably raised really high, but that is, how do we do that, right? How do we just allow ourselves? Because as you were talking about this, it made me think of the saying, if you just unplug something and let it sit, it will recharge. Even ourselves, right? How you say, if you call, customer support, IT support, the help desk, and they say, "Did you unplug it?" But it's kind of true, right? If we unplug ourselves and let go of those things that we think we need to control, if we rest, relax, if we do, meditation, journaling, like all these different things that can help us, is that going to get us to a place where we'll be comfortable?
Absolutely, 100%. And here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. This is why I love working with the angels, right? Because you've got a team of loving divine beings who cherish you, who adore you, who want to help you. So my job as an angel coach is to help you to access their love, their wisdom, their healing through your intuitive channels, right? Through your energy body, through your heart and mind. So I think this is a good time to say about that. We still have a little bit of time. Living it up. So your motto for the Get Rooted Radio: living it up, loving it up, letting it go. And when I was walking earlier today and preparing for this, I heard that the practices in my book connect with your motto. And I was like, wow, this is really, and we're both wearing the same color. Synchronicity. We did not plan this, actually, so it's kind of funny. So living it up goes with practice number 1 and practice number 4. Living it up, practice number 1 is renew your devotion. This is about making the commitment to receiving love from your angels, right? No matter what, right? And then I'm gonna come back to P4. Loving it up is practice number 2. Relax and cherish your body, which is what we're talking about now, right? Relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief. When you give yourself permission to relax, to release, to let go, you're gonna receive the deeper meaning of that pain, and that will create the transformation. Letting it go. P3, release and lead with your heart. This is the most challenging because we are face to face with that wound. We're face to face with that pain and that release process. And we have to know that we're safe to let go.
So you have to be vulnerable, and you have to give into that vulnerability.
Thank you. Exactly. It's about vulnerability. It's about being tender. It's about being open. And that, can feel scary to some of our parts. And then back to living it up. P4, practice number 4, receive and trust your intuition. Living is receiving. Living is breathing. Living is trusting that your angels have your back, that you are loved beyond measure, that there's an answer to your pain and your angels have it.
I love that. That's a great place to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how pain is a portal. But before we go, Jill, tell folks again how they can connect with you and learn more about your services.
Absolutely. You can find out all the information about classes and events and my trainings and all of that on my website, jillkempnerhealing.com.
And you also have something for our listeners.
I do. We talked about this, but I'm like, I think
it was a signed copy of your book.
That's right. I have an autographed copy of my amazing debut book, Receiving from Your Angels, 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain, to one of our lucky listeners.
So just reach out and let us know, and we will get that information over to you. So awesome. Thank you so much. I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Don't forget to visit getrootedradio.com to listen to a replay of this episode, sign up for helpful tips, and learn about upcoming events. That's getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Jill Kempner. Jill, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for this invitation.
So during the last 2 segments, we have talked about relief being in the reveal and relaxation as being the gateway to relief. So during this segment, we want to talk about pain being a portal. So what does that mean? Pain is a portal.
Yeah, I mean, when the angels said that to me, first of all, I was like, that's really cool. I was like, teach me about that, right? Like, what is that? I kind of understood it, but I was like, what does this all mean, right? So you want to think about a portal, right, as an opening, right, and an access point. And so really what your pain is a portal is about reframing the pain and seeing it, like we talked about in the opening, right, through the eyes of love, through the eyes of your guardian angels. And so years ago, I'll be honest, I really saw my pain as a punishment. And I want to normalize the human condition that we often want to kill the pain, numb the pain, get rid of the pain. And with all the things, right? Self-medication, numbing, buffering, maybe with social media or cleaning or helping others. Not that there's anything wrong with helping
right?
others.
Avoidance or anything, right?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Or even like being too hard on yourself, right? This is another way that we really judge ourselves, right? We judge the pain. And the shift, right? This pain as a portal is about connecting with how your angels see your pain, right? The angelic perspective of your pain, which is that pain is a teacher. I like to sometimes also say a change maker. It's one of the stories in my book that I share. Pain is a part of you. And we won't get into parts and all of that, but just to understand that, like, you're not defined by that pain and that it is just a part. And sometimes when the pain is so loud, this chronic pain or an autoimmune issue or the cancer journey or whatever you're going through, when that pain is so loud, it's like taking over your whole consciousness, right? When you can separate from the pain just a little bit to say, oh, this is a part. Oh, and I'm good. I'm okay. That can create a really awesome shift. And then, of course, the pain is a portal, right? It's an entryway for your angels to send you love. I mean, that's a whole nother way of looking at pain.
Yeah, it is. It is. And how, when we, I don't want to say accept pain. I mean, I think pain sometimes is inevitable. And what I mean by that is that we all go through loss, grief, physical injury, emotional injury. Maybe we even have spiritual injury if we're not sure how someone might be guiding us.
Yes.
How do we use that portal to get there, right? To accept that it's not happening. Maybe it's it's happening to us, but it's happening for us.
For us. I love that. I love your wisdom. Here's what I help my clients do, right? I help my clients stop blaming themselves, stop judging themselves, right? Talk about acceptance, right? Compassion. I help my clients to stop trying to get rid of the pain, right? Because that's creating all this resistance that is burning up their energy and their fuel. Right? I get them to stop putting themselves last on the list, which many, obviously I attract a lot of, I'm here to serve earth angels, but of course I see a lot of women and, we're givers and helpers and, we're here to serve and we give sometimes till we're burned out and putting ourselves last on the list. And so shifting that, right? I get them through my angel coaching programs. I get my clients to start prioritizing self-care. Yes. And with their angel practice, remember before I said I create this beautiful customized, it's a personalized daily angel practice. It includes meditation, self-energy work, and this beautiful magical mantra, which I'm going to share at the end. And I help them start prioritizing. I help them really heal, instead of beating themselves up and blaming themselves and judging themselves, they start to focus on the higher purpose of that pain, the deeper meaning of that pain, which begins to shift it. And I help them really to trust their body's truthful wisdom, to trust their heart's wisdom and truth. To trust that their angels love them unconditionally, have their back, and are always here, have the answers to their pain. Yeah.
And I mean, you think everything's interconnected, right? It's mind, body, spirit, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, right? It's when one area is off, it's going to affect the other areas. And when you take time for that self-care, true self-care, right? No offense, because I know you were a massage therapist, but not just massages. Yeah. Trust me, I love my massages. But you actually take time to rejuvenate and renew what is important. And anybody, who thinks self-care is selfish, it's not, right? Without sounding cliche, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're depleted, you're no good to anyone. And we need to make sure that we're remembering that, especially as, women, professionals, stay-at-home moms, everybody, because we tend to put other people first because we'll get to it eventually. And, self-care is sacred. It's essential to living that rooted, balanced life. And when we forget about that and ignore that, it's like planting all these beautiful flowers and not watering them. Mm-hmm. That's foolish. Yeah. So let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to finish up the show with a discussion on some of your clients' results, your mantra, and some tips that folks can start doing right now. All right. This is Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any of the information during the last segments, go to getrootedradio.com to listen to the replay. Don't forget to subscribe, sign up for tips and special events and pricing for upcoming coaching sessions at getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Jill Kempner. Jill, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. This is so much fun.
So tell folks how they can connect with you. And also, I hear you have an invitation for our viewers.
Awesome. Yes. So JillKempnerHealing.com is my website. It's my name, healing.com. And I have an invitation to a consult, a free consult. And here's what I'm confident about. I'm confident about two things. The first thing I'm confident about is that your angels know how to heal your pain, that they have the answer to your pain relief. The second thing I'm confident about is that I have the tools, the messages, the medicine, and the modality to help you to access that answer. And so I have something called an angelic pain relief consult. It's a free consult over Zoom. It's a 1-hour conversation. And it's a really it's a heartfelt, compassionate, sacred space that I create for you, that your angels and I are creating for you, where I'm listening to you, I'm listening to your angels, and I'm helping you to understand what your pain is really about. You think it's this, but it's really this. I'm also going to share what your angels are saying about your pain. And in that, right, the relief is in the reveal. Understanding, this is what the pain is really about, already begins to shift that pain. And then if we're a good fit, I share the details of my coaching program with you. And there's 2 bonuses in that free consult over Zoom. The first is that I pull an archangel for you. And this archangel is based on what we've talked about in this call, what we've talked about in the consult. And, I'll give some messages from the angels that can support you in the next steps. And then I also share a powerful tool called an angel invitation. And I gift that to you, and you can start saying that every day to start to invite your angels, right? To start to receive that love from your angels. So if you're interested in that, there's a tab on my website called Free Consult. There's a little questionnaire. And once I review that questionnaire, we can set up your consult. So I'd love to have that conversation with you. Be my honor.
That website again?
JillKempnerHealing.com.
Wonderful. So during the last few segments, Jill, we discussed relief is in the reveal, relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief, and pain as a portal. And during this last segment, we want to talk, and I want to really have listeners and viewers hear about your client results and a tip that they can start putting into practice right now.
Awesome. I would love that. The teacher in me who wants to share all that, right? So I've helped my clients had some just amazing, miraculous results. And I've helped my clients to heal a range of physical ailments. So back pain, shoulder pain, insomnia, acid reflux, restless leg syndrome, different heart issues. I also help people with emotional pain, right? People who've experienced abuse, PTSD, feelings of shame and anger and unworthiness and grief, right? To really shift those heavy emotions back to, right? It's taking the wound and turning it into your wisdom. And that's the alchemy that the angels provide through the relax, release, receive process. And it's an honor. It's an honor to witness the healing, the transformation, the clearing that my clients are receiving. I want to share a little bit about this restless leg. So I had a client who did 3 angel healing sessions with me. And she had restless leg syndrome for decades. And she walked around in a fog. She had so much trouble sleeping. She could never relax. And I said, I have a feeling we can heal this. And after just 1 session, she was like so much better. She wanted to focus on other stuff. And I said, nope, we're going to stay focused on this for all 3 sessions. We cleared the restless leg energy, the restless leg karma that was actually connected with her family, with her lineage, with her father. We cleared all of that. She's 98% better right now after 3 angel healing sessions, because that's the power of this. That's the power of the relax, release, receive process. That's the power of angel Reiki, IET, crystal healing, and of your own team of angels and guides. So it's just been an honor so really, it's a lot of times, and thank you, angels. That's what they wanted me to say. I have a passion of helping people who have been in chronic pain, for decades, to get that true long-lasting relief. I also have a passion to help people who've experienced PTSD, because obviously I talked just a little bit about the different traumas that I've went through. And so I have a passion to help people who are dealing with PTSD to really, really heal the stress from their body and that repeating traumatic event over and over again, clearing that. Also, those who are going through the cancer journey. My mom passed away of bile duct cancer in 2022. And so I have want to help people through the cancer journey and to have all this physical, emotional, mental, spiritual support that they need. And also people who are experiencing autoimmune issues. I have an autoimmune issue, Crohn's disease, and I have a passion for, and I'm in remission without medication. Because of the relax, release, receive process, because of the angelic pain relief formula, right? Intention, devotion, relax, and receive. And that's the simplicity of this work. And again, a pleasure and an honor to share these teachings and to share this medicine, and to take the angels out of religion, to take the angels out of woo-woo, and to take them into that's why I loved the title when you reached out, Get Rooted Radio. I'm like, I love, this is relaxation is so grounding, right? It's bringing you into the here and now. It's bringing you into the present moment. It's bringing you into your roots. And it's a gift.
So before we sign off today, what is something that our listeners, our viewers can do right now?
So I have a little magical mantra. That's what I call it. It's an affirmation that you can start using every single day to receive love from your angels. It's easy, it's simple, it's beautiful. And so the affirmation is, I am devoted to receiving love from my angels. And what you do is you place your hands on your heart, which is the gateway of your angels' love, and you take a cleansing breath in and out, letting yourself relax your body and mind. And then you say, either silently or out loud, I am devoted to receiving love from my angels. And usually I invite my clients and I invite my students to say it 3 times. There's just something about 3, the magical number of 3, that begins to shift your perception, shift that pain, back to being a portal, back to receiving love from your angels. And I invite you to start practicing this every single day. You can do it in the morning, noon, and night, or anytime you feel triggered or in pain. And I'd love to hear, how it's working for you.
Thank you, Jill. And your website one more time for listeners.
It's Jill Kempner Healing, JILLKEMPNER healing.com.
Thank you so much, Jill, for being on the show today.
Such a pleasure and an honor. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Get Rooted Radio and Transformational Network.
Yes.
Transformation.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in to Get Rooted Radio. If you missed any part of today's episode or want to listen again, go to getrootedradio.com for the podcast. And don't forget to tune in the first and third Monday of each month at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Pacific right here on Transformation Talk Radio. Before I sign off, ask yourself if you are living a rooted life with appropriate boundaries, and are you the hero of your story? If the answer is no, set up your free Empower Hour call with me. No charge, no obligations. Go to getrootedradio.com to find out how I can help you take action now. And if you're ready to live, love, and let go, then my award-winning book and companion workbook, The Rooted Life, Live, Love, Let Go, is for you. Check out the bundle deal at getrootedradio.com under the author section. And also check out my new collaboration book, Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 16, that has been endorsed by Tony Robbins. Order your copies today. And one last personal message. If you are hurting or need help, please know the world needs you and is a better place with you in it. Don't let the hard days win. Reach out for assistance. Call or text or chat the 988 Suicide Christ Lifeline. Hours are 24 hours a day and it's free. Or text HOME, HOME, to 741-741 to reach a trained crisis counselor through Crisis Text Line. Again, a global not-for-profit organization, free, 24/7, confidential. Thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing day and know that you are loved. I'm looking forward to the next time on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Visit GetRootedRadio.com if you've missed any part of this hit show, and tune in on TransformationTalkRadio.com to live fearlessly in your more and powerfully rooted in your unlimited yes. For more information and to work with Erica directly, visit GetRootedRadio.com. That's GetRootedRadio.com, and get ready to live it up, love it up, and let it go.